We're going to bring to you all the good news about modified and late model racing across the country. As always on Tuesday, we're so glad that you've joined us here on Slingin presented by Hercules Tires. We have 3 guests for you today. As usual, it is Mason Ziegler. He picks up the win at Tyler County Speedway. We have, what'd you say his name was? Rockin' Ray Bollinger.
That's the name I gave him.
Oh, the name you gave him. Okay,
Yeah.
We'll see if we can make that stick, or if he has any other nicknames for that matter. He has 11 UMP modified wins this year. He just picked up the last one this weekend at Farmer City. And last but not least, we have Stewart Friesen. He's on a 3-win streak this past week with a $21,710 pay week for those 3 races.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive, yeah. Absolutely.
It is.
Well, we're the Stremmes. For those of you who don't know, this is my husband, David, and I'm Ashley. And he's got some notes this week.
Are you done trying to be funny? Because you're not. I'll tell you what is cool. What's going on. Anyways, I'll tell you what's cool. Bobby Pierce, 10 wins. 10 wins in the Hell Tour so far. We're going to have him on the show. He's getting ready, obviously. Tonight.
He's not responding.
Let me finish. Tonight, he's getting ready for Plymouth Speedway. You know, they don't have a lot of late model races. When you look at late models in dirt on Indiana, it's like Brownstown, southern Indiana, not a lot up north. So they're going to be tonight at Plymouth Speedway along with the modifieds, and then tomorrow at Shady Hill. So we're getting caught right at the end of Hell Tour, so there's a lot going on. I mean, these guys, when you look at pictures, they got body panels that are replaced, no decals on them. They're just kind of going as is. But 10 wins, okay. I think, don't hold me to this, I think there's only 4 other guys besides him that's been in double digits for wins in the Hell Tour season. So it's pretty impressive when you get down to it.
He can still text us back.
So anyways,
I'm just dragging on
the other thing is Chris Smokey Madden got a concussion over at Smoky Mountain Speedway, which we really hope he's feeling better. And the reason I bring this up, most guys don't know. You look at Randy Weaver still out with a concussion from the Alabama wreck, but I don't think they understand the safety. You know, we need to get on this more and more. You know, Lucas Oil makes everybody run or mandates running a head restraint system, but more than anything is the speeds we're going, the cars, we're getting everything faster technology-wise and doing stuff. We need to work on safety, not only on our cars, but on the track too. Some of these places, these guardrails and the walls and all this stuff, it's a little crazy. So anyways, whatever went on, Chris is, I hope he's getting better, but concussions it's not like they heal fast. So he can get ready for Ray Cook's Southern National Tour that starts, I think it's this Saturday at Whitville. So that's going to be pretty cool. That's it.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
I know, because you're trying to be funny and you're not a comedian.
Neither are you, David Stremme.
So, and did you see the video of the fire, the modified fire out in Bakersfield, California?
I did.
That was scary right there. Both drivers got out. They were okay. It's on social media. There's a lot of people sharing. But another thing, a guy slid into another guy's car, punctured his fuel cell with a little piece of tubing, and it erupted. And the track didn't have anything there to put it out. Obviously, a lot of race fuel that was burning and stuff. Fire truck had to come. Guys lost both their cars, which I'm trying to think. It's Eldon. We were talking about this at breakfast. What was that fireball we were talking about?
I don't know.
I think that's it. It's a ball. You throw it in the fire. Poof. I know you got mad at me because we were talking.
No. You're the one that had the attitude with me. I was just merely stating my opinion.
Anyways, it's a really cool
carry
deal.
That another time.
So again, glad those drivers walked away. It was a really scary fire out there.
Some good news from the modified world. Craig Von Doren, he scores his 300th win.
Wow.
This weekend. Yeah, pretty cool.
Where was that at?
It was at, I forget.
Well, what part of the country?
Well, let's see. Dirt Big Block Modifieds only run in the Northeast.
Do you
not know who Craig Von Doren is?
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You need to learn.
Listen, I know a barefoot Bob McCready, which he got his case settled from the whole parking lot incident. You know, when you think of big block guys, I think of like Stewart Friesen, Hearn, all of I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know.
Yeah, well, you should learn.
Maybe other people don't know. You got to tell them. They're the mud buses.
Mud buses. You were the one that was all about Decker winning Canandaigua.
He did. First time in 5 years. I mean, I thought that was a pretty big deal. I mean, Billy Decker's a household name, all right?
So is Stewart Friesen, and he just won his first race at Accord this weekend.
Okay, I know.
Oh, so you need to...
Van Dorn guy, or what's his name?
Craig Von Doren.
Craig Von Dorn. I didn't know who he was. So. Anyways.
Hearn won at Albany.
Yep, world's going right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He had his show. That's actually, it was the Big Show 8.
Yeah.
That's what Stewart, one of the races Stewart won this past weekend. Okay.
I'm going on. I'm letting you go.
Oh, I'm just going to go with the late models now. Do you have anything else you'd like to throw in there?
No.
Because you're being Mr. Stern today, so I'm just going.
Yeah. I really don't like how this show's going right now.
Yeah?
No. Well,
what would you like to change, please?
Nothing. I'm waiting for you.
No, I was just talking about winning.
Okay. So we're
what
done.
Would you like to
You don't
add?
have nothing else?
No, I do. I have late model
That's
stuff.
what I got.
know, absolutely,
Well,
right?
I don't want to read your notes. Read the late models.
Why? You do any other time. So Brian Shirley, he won at Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Bloomer at Cherokee. Fegger's been on a little bit of a roll. He picked up the win at Doughty and Farmer City.
Mm-hmm.
Clanton at I-35.
Yeah, he was good. Him and Richards have been really strong on that tour out there. But Eckert has, I think, 3 top 7 finishes. Very strong. Won a heat every night, so he's been very good.
Well, Richards won at Deer Creek after you bringing up Josh. Pierce at Peoria and Quincy.
Yeah.
And McDowell at Smoky Mountain.
And Kenny Wallace got himself, I think it was at Quincy, he got the modified win. So I know he's been very close a lot. But a lot of modified guys, been different winners. We've seen Harrison. I'm curious to talk to Ray and see his point. They had a great video of him and Mike Harrison racing at, I don't know what track it was. I mean, them guys run every night. I forget what tracks they're at. It's kind of hard to keep up with them.
That's why it's called the Hell Tour.
It is. It's very, very hard.
I just wonder if it's as hot and humid there as it is here this last few weeks. Because if so, that makes it 10 times worse.
I know it is. I mean, tonight, I was just talking to some friends that are going to Plymouth. They say it's like 90 degrees and 90% humidity. So, I mean, it's going to be burned up and a little crazy there. So, I mean...
Well, it seems like we always mention Super Dirt Week along the line, but it sounds like it's officially going to be announced this week as to where Super Dirt Week will end up this year. Yeah. So, obviously, we've been talking about Oswego for many weeks now, and that is still the number one running choice. But
it was, I'd read a little piece on the funding for it, and they were talking about they had different politicians come in, I guess, and they got to fill out the paperwork again, and it takes I think they said 8 months for it to go through. So somebody's really dropped the ball on this, getting the New York State, whatever they're calling it, fair, or it's not fair, but Speedway going. And it was really, really sad. I think, like when we had talked to Fuller, the history of the mile and all the stuff and Super Dirt Car Week and running that prestigious race, it's hopefully going to be done somewhere where they can keep that going. But as far as politicians, and not to get into that, somebody's dropped a hammer on this, so it's not very good.
Politics and racing.
Yeah. It's
2 things that never really go hand in
nuts.
hand. But
how about, so they stayed at Fayetteville. You're talking about Lucas Oil. Stayed at Fayetteville, big storms come in. They didn't get the race in there. But Cherokee, they were racing, had their heats, and it rained. It was like 4 hours to get the track prepped again, and it was like
but they did
think 3 or 4 in the morning, and they got done. So it was.
But I'm sure the racers appreciated it because it's a payday instead of a rain out.
It was, but they had to drive 3.5 hours. They basically had 2 races in one day. So
that's tough. I
give them kudos, Lenny and all them at Cherokee Speedway for getting it in, and Lucas Oil sticking with it because a lot of fans had paid, and it was a good deal.
Well, speaking of good deals, we are going to speak to Mason Ziegler right up next after the break here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin' Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com. Looking to find the best place for all the latest NASCAR Sprint Cup, Xfinity, Camping World Truck, K&N, and Modified Series news? MRN.com is the place to go. Your online home for NASCAR news, opinion, podcasts, videos, race schedules, results, and statistics. Award-winning motorsports writers keep you informed and up-to-date on all the latest breaking NASCAR news and in-depth stories and opinion. MRN.com, your online home for all the NASCAR information you're looking for. Join the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Get the latest news and exclusive interviews from the biggest names in the sport.
One thing, don't take yourself too seriously. Don't worry about people judging and just...
Hear the thoughts and opinions from NASCAR insiders.
Look at what he's been able to do with the Wood brothers since they returned to full-time competition this year. Now, obviously...
It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday evening at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
Motor Racing Network, glad to have you aboard for our coverage of practice, something we will be doing all throughout the year.
They are pretty close in practice.
You said you learned a lot in practice.
We can have a good, clean practice.
How many teams are going to opt out of practice?
Get this practice session underway.
As we close out practice, what are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
We are talking practice. Sprint Cup Series practice on the Motor Racing Network. Join us all season long on MRN.com and the MRN app. This is Slingin Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
This is Slingin Dirt presented by Hercules Tires, where the Stremmes picking up their win this weekend at Tyler County Speedway. It is Mason Ziegler. Welcome back to the show, Mason.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to be back on.
So you're doing a lot of local racing in Pennsylvania and the surrounding area. You're not doing a whole lot with the tours this year. What's going on? How are things going? Tyler County obviously was a good weekend for you.
Yeah, we had fun. We've really just been trying to focus on work here recently, which is the only reason we haven't been traveling as much. Just trying to get everything in line so we can be, more prepared next year or the following, so we can do it with no stress. It's this race, you know how it is. It takes a lot out of you, and me and one other guy right now. So we're racing when we can, and I'm racing for a guy out of York, Pennsylvania, and the Kleindet Motorsports car. And we've had a good bit of success in that car so far this year, and looking forward to doing some more racing with them too.
So, Mason, you were saying you run regionally, but the Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia area is no slouch for late models. I mean, they have a lot of really good cars there. We see it all the time. Talk about some of that competition and still getting to travel around. Maybe some of your favorite places that you get to go to.
Oh my gosh! And when you say there is a lot of competition up here, people don't really realize. Like Tim Dome was at Tyler this weekend, and he won the World Outlaw races. I think last 2 years he's been there, and he's just a local there. Greg Satterley, Jason Covert. Covert doesn't come out of his element very often, but when they do, they're usually very, very good. They went down to Georgia this year and, almost won Golden Owls both nights.
Yeah.
So, there's just a lot of really talented, good drivers in this area, and the big late model area. We don't have many modified and stuff, so, that's all we really are is a late model area here. And, little Nickel Lake, he's 15 years old, but I tell you what, he's getting to be really good, and he's getting comfortable, so he's going to be a little force to be reckoned with here soon. And there's just a lot of them, and everyone, I don't think there's really much of a lack of funding in our sport, so no one's really out moneying anyone because everyone seems to have the best of the best equipment. And I think Dale Hollage, he's just another local around here. I think he's on top 25 in the country right now, in rankings wise. So, but yeah, it's tough. They're all getting better and better every week.
So are you just with racing locally? Are you racing a track weekly at a regular show, or are you just hitting the big ones along the way? What really is your schedule for this year?
We really haven't raced that much. We went to Florida, had some success down there, and we've really just been sort of bouncing around regionally. We took a couple weeks off there with some work and getting some things done around here that we need to focus on. And I've been racing regionally. Port Royal up northern Pennsylvania, we've been going up there a couple times. Just 5,000 wins. I don't think I've really been to anything under $4 or $5 grand to win. We don't really go to local races. I don't like to not qualify and stuff and get our stuff tore up, but we're just trying to focus on just racing, sort of like a Randy Weaver would, 4,000 to 5,000 to win every weekend, and then hitting the crown jewel races, when they're when they come up, I guess you should say. But just trying to keep it fun and not too much stress related.
I was sitting here and you're talking about only 5,000 win races. Them are pretty good shows still to go to. But also when you're talking about taking some breaks, you just got married. I think it was like a couple months ago. And, how's the wife doing? And then I also have a question of, it kind of start with Shane Clanton when he got out of the car and at Carolina Speedway, and his wife kind of just let him really know where he should have been racing. I was curious, does she do that a lot with you as far as, try to give you good direction after the race?
Oh, my goodness. Well, to your first question, she's great. She's not here with me right now, otherwise I'm sure she'd be saying hello. Yeah, she's wonderful. I love her to death. I got lucky there. She grew up in racing, as you guys know. Her dad, being Davey Johnson, has been around in the sport forever and raced asphalt and dirt and everything else. So she's grown up at the racetrack every weekend. And it's funny, I'll get out of the car and my crew will be like, "Man, you did good, and she'll get out and say, "You're driving like an idiot. You're all over the racetrack. No one can even race with you." She has no, she doesn't beat around the bush at all. She just tells me how it is, and it's a good thing though, because she, I need someone like that. So that's one of the many reasons I married her.
Love it. I love it. Well, you've been talking about work, so tell everyone what Monday through Thursday, Friday is for you.
I don't even think I know yet. It's something new every week. But we just got a small excavation company here, and we have a bunch of other little things going on. But just keeping us busy. We're this time of the year we have a vacation rental company, and this time of the year we're just swamped and just sort of underhelped right now. We need to get some more people in place so we can do some more racing. That's for sure. But it's anything from hauling the bulldozer to hauling gravel, with the triaxle. It's every day is something new, so I never know what to expect. Hell, I might be headed to freaking Maryland tomorrow to pick up a bulldozer my dad has found somewhere. I don't know. You never know what to expect with him.
Well, the nice thing is with now being able to pick and choose, your equipment's fresh and doing stuff. And you talk about some of the crown races coming up. Obviously, probably the World. Are there any other places? Maybe head to Fairbury or anywhere else that you're looking forward in the future?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're planning on going to Fairbury and Cedar Lake, that swing coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to go ahead and stop at that Quincy on the way to Fairbury at 10 grand to win.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And really, the second half of the season, we are going to be racing a lot more on the big scale probably than what we have been in the beginning of the year, just for the simple fact that the vacation rental deal will slow down a little bit and things will calm down around here for us. And we're just really looking forward to that. And you're right, when I'm not racing crazy and I can take a week off in my car and drive that other car and still go win 5,000 win races around here and just keep racing, and it's helped me a lot driving for Brian because it's just given me a better, feel behind the seat, I guess you could say. Just driving his car is totally different. It's an XR1 with a Pro Power Ford motor in it, so it's a totally different car and a different package, and we're still able to win in it. I don't think we finished worse than second or third in it, so we're just now getting it dialed in, and we're really excited to race some more with them, and it's just so much easier, because it's only, like I said, me and one other guy, and it's tough. We race all, finally get home on Sunday, and we wash on Monday, and heck, if we're leaving for Georgia, we got to be gone by Wednesday evening, Thursday morning latest. So it's
quite a bit.
With two people doing tires and washing and getting the car ready and scale and shocks and springs, it's a lot. It's a lot on someone.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was curious to see the gentleman's car you're racing and yours, and you talk about it being a rocket, and I know you're in a Longhorn. Is there a lot that you can learn from each car, or that you can take to the other one, or is it kind of different?
I tell you what, I thought it was going to be similar, just because everyone knows the rumors. The Rocket apparently copied a Longhorn. It's no secret, but they're nothing alike. If I make one change on the Rocket, one bar change that I commonly do on my Longhorn in the slicks, I tried it on the Rocket the other week up at Port Royal, and for that 4,000 to win, and we ended up second, but we had a car to win. We straight awayed them in the heat race, and we were really good. And I made one bar change, which was a common bar change for me in my car, and not even thinking about it, it just totally ruined that car.
Wow.
So whatever they do different, between the two cars is just there's a lot of things. The bar angles, the J bar, all that stuff's different. So
I tell you,
it's good for me though, because it gives me a bigger, a broader horizon, so I can really learn what I'm doing and what I need to do and stuff. So it's good for me as a driver and for learning.
Yeah, when you talk about having two different cars, before I started building cars, I had two different brands, and I always enjoyed it because you can definitely learn from one another. My friend Kenny Wallace, he's got two different brands, and he runs them. They're both good, but it keeps you open-minded about stuff, and you can look at things differently. And I think there's a lot of positives. It's also, some negatives too, because you got to carry extra parts and do stuff. So maybe, that's something you can do in your future of your team is have two different cars. It sounds like it's working out pretty well right now.
It is, absolutely. And like you said, I can go to one car and say, I have a little bit more side bite with this car, and we can look at the things that promote side bite and sort of see what's different and see where we can narrow down to what might be giving us a little extra side bite with one car that we're lacking with the other. And like you said, if you use the tools you have, and work, I mean, you can make your program a lot better, especially, being surrounded with the people I'm surrounded with. The Klondike Motorsports, Brian and Mark Smith with the MS Shock Therapy, Mark has pull-down rigs. He's got everything. So I'm really, really, really excited to continue working with these guys, and Mark's got me going really good. Heck, I didn't change one bolt on my car this weekend. I just drove it. So
wow,
it's been really enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to doing some more racing with them.
You can tell the difference just, driving for someone else and driving for yourself. To you personally, does it play a little bit mentally into what you're doing every weekend?
It's really not that bad because, the money part of it, I never really have cared about that. I just race because I love to race. And so the financial issue about, if I win in my car, obviously we keep the money. If I win in Brian's car, I just get a percentage. But, that doesn't matter to me at all. I'm just excited to go race. And and Brian, I was a little bit nervous, I guess you could say. That car in this regional area has always been a top contender and always has been winning, with Jason Covert being the previous driver. And so I was a little bit nervous to try and keep the reputation good for the car, and I think we've been able to do that. But I was also a little nervous about driving for someone, because in my car, if I get into a little bit of a mess and tear it up a little bit, it's not a big deal because it's mine. I paid for it. So, but I didn't know how he was going to be about that. But we've been fortunate. We really haven't tore much up, maybe just some sheet metal here and there. But he's just really good to drive, really good person for me to drive for because he's so laid back. If someone gets into me, he says, "Get back into him." You don't take it from him. So he's a real laid back, good guy to drive for. He just has fun at the racetrack, but he wants to win. So he's just like us, and we have a lot of common, similarities between us. So it's a joy to drive for them.
Awesome. Really cool, Mason. Well, congratulations on your win this weekend, and I'm sure we'll be catching up with you somewhere along the lines the rest of the year.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for being on the show.
Enjoy being on.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mason. Next, we'll speak to Ray Bollinger here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin' Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
O'Reilly.
If you're
your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, head to O'Reilly Auto Parts and take advantage of the exclusive Do It Right rebate. Just purchase a set of Brake Best Select or Select ceramic brake pads and you'll receive a $10 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Plus, enjoy quiet, safe, worry-free braking. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Before you set your fantasy racing lineup, check in with our experts to get the inside line on who's fast and who's last entering the race weekend. Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett take you inside the facts, stats, and latest news from the track so you have everything you need to set your team and win the weekend. Log on to MRN.com and enter the Media Center every Friday. It's the inside line on demand and only on the Motor Racing Network. If you haven't checked out MRN.com's exclusive online programming, you've missed a lot. MRN Motorsports Monday. Review and preview the NASCAR weekends. Winged Nation Talk, Winged Sprint Cars. The latest from the NHRA. On the straight line. Dirt, late model, modified, and big block modified talk. Slingin Dirt. NASCAR regional, local, and international series on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Exclusive, original online motorsports talk on MRN.com. This is Slingin Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back to Slingin Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires. Joining us now, he has picked up his 11th UMP modified win, and it came from Farmer City this past weekend. It is Ray Bollinger. Welcome to the show, Ray.
How you doing today?
We are doing great, and apparently you are too. 11 wins so far this year. How awesome is that?
Great. We ended up picking our 12th up at Quincy on Sunday night. Also, we went down there for the summit tour down there, and ended up winning down there Sunday night also.
Well, I know you've been. I've been following you, and you had the recent win here, but you and Mike Harris had a heck of a race going on. What track was that at?
That was down there at Highland.
At Highland, and I mean it was back and forth, and you two got together, and you kind of got the short end of the stick, but. The cool thing is, as I've been following you, is you've had a very, very strong year. You were strong down there at Volusia. I got to hang out with you, and of course we were pitted not far from each other. Do you think that kind of rolled out through the rest of this year, or I mean, what do you give credit to as far as the season you're having?
No, I just think keeping the momentum rolling, keeping everybody on the crew just kind of hitting their marks, and they're kind of knowing what to do without me telling them. They're all checking the track out and telling me also which shock pressure, what shock they think is on, and then we all kind of make a decision right before we go out. And I think another thing is since we got back here, I think everybody else was kind of staying on that A tire up for the right rear, and I just kind of threw that out of our picture and just concentrated on making an H fire and how to cut it and sipe it and get it going to where we could get something going with it, and we kind of got the short end of the straw early on, where everybody else was kind of hitting with the A's early, and then now we got the car scaled out right to take it, and that's kind of been our forward momentum, I would say.
I love hearing that, because I haven't run as much UMP since Speed Weeks, but I hated that they had that tire deal. Now after the beginning of July, it's just AS's and an H. And you talked about that A, and I was going to ask you, what is your thoughts on that? And you kind of answered it for me. I mean, because it makes it a heck of a lot easier going to take tires to the racetrack and also choosing what you need to run on.
Yeah, I think UMP's definitely stepped up on that. I personally would love to see just an H right rear option only, and then we could kind of take that all out of the ballpark altogether. But I think we're in a good thing right now as far as the H and the AS. I think they're on the right track. They definitely refired great, and our car's definitely dialed in for them, and hopefully we can get one tonight. We're headed up to there to Indiana to forget where I'm going now.
Plymouth, Indiana.
Yeah, Plymouth, Indiana tonight. So hopefully we can get one up there.
That's only like 30 minutes from where I grew up, so hopefully you have a lot of fun up there.
About 4 hours and 40 minutes from us, and I think it's a 45% chance of rain. I don't know how bright we are, but we're going to try it.
They'll stick it out. Now, do you have one car, or do you have two cars?
I just have the one.
The one car, and I had seen earlier in the year you got a little incident, knocked a rear clip off, and Donnie Jumper got that thing turned around, and you were racing that weekend. That's quite a bit of turnaround and a lot of work put in.
Yeah, a lot of commitment from my crew. We had it off, and I think it was back in my driveway. less than 24 hours after I wrecked it with a new tail on it.
Wow.
That says something for jumper. My crew, everybody drove. I have a couple retired buddies that helped me out a lot, and they drove through the night to get it done. And hell, even after that incident was when over there in Highland, the front end was pushed over about 3 inches, and we hooked onto a road grader and an old beat up wrecker that down there, and we pulled her straight. That car's got I think almost 120 nights on it.
9 lives for sure.
Just getting broke in.
The picture on Facebook was priceless with the grader and the tow truck. I've seen that firsthand, unfortunately, but it seems like you got the thing straightened back out.
Yeah, I think we definitely. I think Jumper just builds a real good, consistent car, and as long as you get your marks back on it, they set up real good. He's definitely on to something. I'm glad we went to that chassis, and we've jumped around a little bit, and I think we found home.
What were you on before? I didn't know you just went to him this year.
It was last year, I guess, the beginning of last year. We were on a Pierce for a while, and then we jumped over to Elite for a year. And Nick's got his stuff rolling real good, and I think that his driving style and my driving style are totally different to the point that we struggled with it, and we jumped over to the Impressive, and it's been on ever since, and just been kind of getting consistently better every night, and definitely consistent finishes.
Yeah. So the Hell Tour you've been hitting, have you made all of them, or have you missed a few? Or
I've missed a few of them. I work as a locksmith at a prison. We're kind of going through a transition right now of going from a juvenile prison to adult prison. I don't get a lot of time off, and my boss is definitely very nice to me and lets me do what I want to do quite a bit, but some restrictions I can't get away from. But I'll definitely be at Plymouth tonight, and I would like to go to the other one, Indy, tomorrow, but I have to come home tonight and go to work, but drive back another 4 hours back home, and then go to, I think we're going to Oakshade Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
You have told... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I've always heard there's a hell of a party going on there on Friday and Saturday night, so hopefully it'll be a good night.
You'll be drinking your Bud Lights. You'll be all set.
You have totally intrigued me with your job. So you're a locksmith at a prison. What exactly does that entail?
Well, first I was a prison guard for 14 years there. We had an altercation inmate and broke my ankle pretty bad there for I was down for about 6-8 months. Wow. And I studied and took a course and to be a locksmith, and it just happened to be just right at the right time, as I knew one guy was retiring, and I just kind of slid right in the job because nobody had the ability or the grade to do it as far as the certification, and I just slid right into it. Now I just take care of all the locks, all the doors, all the hinges, cut all the keys. I pretty much do it all there as far as the anything to do with lock at that prison.
Right. Now,
that's insane.
You're not a big guy. You're not very to me, I would think, as a security guard type built. What made you go into that field?
I was working as a welder at a factory right across the street, and they started building that prison, and I said, man, there ain't no way I'd want to work there. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, that factory started to shut down, and I thought, man, that looks like a pretty good place to work. So it just kind of fell right into place and went right over there. I got in the first class, got high seniority, and been there for, I think, almost 16 years now total. So hopefully I can get another 10 in, and I can be retired and be 51 and out there racing every night like Kenny.
I love it. So this I'm so intrigued by this. This stuff you watch on TV, is that really what goes on in prison?
I'd say a lot of that stuff does happen, and maybe not as much as out in the open as normal, but there's definitely some bad people there. I mean, we were the only maximum security institution for juvenile, and when I say juvenile, it's 13 to 21 at the time is when we were open, so it was basically an adult prison. But now we've since switched over, and we're in the process to go into Department of Corrections adult prison. So we don't even know what our population is going to be yet, but it'll be interesting. And I know my job's going to get a little harder for a while, and then maybe it'll calm down after a couple of years. But it'll be a big setup for a while.
What is some of the change, I guess, going from juvenile to the...
double bunking versus single bunk, and just kind of not knowing what's all going on as far as we haven't had no direction yet as far as what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's never happened in the state of Illinois as far as in a juvenile prison switching over, so we just we don't know exactly how it's all going to go down.
The wheels in my brain are just turning. Like, I'm thinking.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
Don't be messing with Ray Bollinger at the racetrack.
Not only that, but I'm like, so do the prisoners like try to bribe you to get like keys and stuff? Like the wheels are just.
That they don't really have. That don't really happen at all too much at all. I haven't worked in an adult prison, but I stand my ground pretty good. I'll be pretty good. I've been a lot of altercations, quite a few altercations. I'm good with them.
Well, that's awesome.
Don't scare me a bit.
So
this is a racing program, and it's totally just gone to the prison side.
Normally, I love talking about farming, and I'll talk to farming, Harrison, all that. Now we're talking prison, but hey, so Hell Tour is going to be wrapping up, and obviously there's Fairbury. What are some of the other races that you're looking forward to going to?
Like I said, that Oakshade, that'll be a good one. That Friday, Saturday night this weekend, and then. Going to Fairbury, actually be a double show on that 29th.
Yep.
30th. We start, I believe we start on a pole for that race, for the AMS race that got rained out.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a double feature that night. So we'll be definitely humping that day to get the car right and make sure we're all on track for three big races, basically. But can't wait for Eldora and the fall thing there at Tri-City. That's Kevin Gunnicker and all them. They put on a hell of a show. So. Hopefully you're going to be out there at Eldora again, right?
Yeah, we're going to make it there. I'm debating on Fairbury because they have that rain out date, and for me it'd be one show over 2 days. But
it'll be 2 days though.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
I think you better come. It'll be a hell of a show.
That's 14 hours for us to drive. But anyways, but Gundaker, I don't know what they call that down there at Granite City.
Tri-City.
At Tri-City, I don't know what the Mod Mania, I think, is what it is. But
Mod Mania,
I think I'd like to try to make it. Definitely go run some of those shows. The Fairbury when they have the 10,000 to win, and Spoon River and Farmer City hit those races because that Illinois crowd's it's a lot of fun. I compare it a lot to like when I go to West Virginia up in Parkersburg. There's a lot of modified, very strong competition, and it's always great. Seeing yourself or Ray Walsh or Kenny, there's so many guys that it's really fun. That area is really, really strong racers. Brooksy, I was just talking to him last night. I go, hey, what's this makeup feature? You think I could get in on it? He says, no, they've already kind of set the field. And I was like, okay, but you guys have you have a really, really cool area for modified racing. And I know you've been to LaSalle a couple times. I know they're trying some stuff, and they got a lot of good tracks up in that area.
Yeah, we got in. We won LaSalle last time we were there for the July 4th one. We had a really good car there. I mean, I feel like that night it was probably the best of cars. We hit it. I mean, I don't think you could hit it more perfect that night. I mean, there's you kind of have few and far between them, and it's just I don't think I moved the steering wheel a half inch during the whole race. It was that hook. It was just straight, point it and go. It never just rolled around it great.
Yeah, you killed them that night. I mean, it was like you had half-track lead on them.
Yeah. I'll take them where I can get them. Be happy when I get them because, like I said, they're few and far between sometimes. But Kenny, we were talking about Kenny there earlier. He had that Quincy show. He got around me. We got in lap traffic, and he was definitely a lot better in the lap traffic down there at Quincy. I felt bad for him. He got, not that I didn't want to win at all, but I kind of didn't want to win like that. He got underneath a lap car, and they didn't really see him, and kind of pinched him into a tire, and that kind of let me take the victory, I guess.
Yeah, but when you look at the Hell Tour Modifieds, Nick started out very strong. He won 4, I think, right away. And then it's like everybody else really started, coming on. They had a bunch of different winners, and, of course, Nick won another one. But it really, since then, there hasn't been a lot of domination by one car.
Yeah. I got to give it to you get a guy that runs a local track, and they do good. And I've been there. You kind of get in a rhythm and my car's good enough. I'm beating the guys that are here. I'm close enough to them that I'm beating, and you kind of get in that mindset where you go out and race against everybody that's on their game so much. You just keep striving to find something else and something else and something else, and before you know it, you find 4 little things that make one big thing, and that's kind of what we've done, really. And jumper and then racing down there at Spoon River Speedway down there at that track is always so smooth that you can change a shock, one number and say, man, that was better, that was worse, or whatever. You just keep hitting them little things. I feel.
That's awesome.
Well, hopefully the momentum will continue to keep rolling. 12 wins this year. I apologize for being incorrect on that. But thanks for being on the show, Ray. We appreciate it. And good luck with the rest of the
I look
tour.
forward to seeing you guys later, too.
Yes, good luck to you. Have a little fun at Oakshade, not a lot.
I can't promise that.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's
he was a hoot to park by at Volusia. His guys, they worked their tails off while they're down there. And it was pretty rewarding to see him. He won the last night down there. They call it it was basically the final feature at the end of Speed Weeks. But I followed him through this year, and he's had a very good year this year.
And impressive that he's running the Held Tour with only one car.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I think that it shows a lot when you, for the modified, just say, a lot of guys only have one car, and that's what they race. I mean, I have 2 cars, but I really only run one.
Right.
I have another one there, but there's no need unless you're running all over. Now, it is nice. I mean, you look at some guys, they go through some, but heck, in Ray's case, you just hook onto the road grader and a
tow
tree,
truck.
and you just pull it back. So that's what I love about the modified. It's really cool.
Well, speaking of modifieds, we will talk to a big block driver next. It is Stewart Friesen here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin' Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, head to O'Reilly Auto Parts and take advantage of the exclusive Do It Right rebate. Just purchase a set of Brake Best Select or Select ceramic brake pads and you'll receive a $10 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Plus, enjoy quiet, safe, worry-free braking. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Stay up to date with the latest news from the NASCAR Garage, weekdays on NASCAR Today, midday.
We can enhance the fans' experience, and I think that's what we really need to zero in on and provide.
Hear from the drivers and teams as they chase the 2016 championship trophy.
Change is good in our sport. It re-energizes people, makes everybody, step up to the plate, so to speak.
NASCAR Today, midday, weekdays on the Motor Racing Network, your source for NASCAR news.
This is Slingin' Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back. We're the Stremmies, and you're listening to Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires. This past week was a solid 3-race midweek win streak for Stewart Friesen. Welcome to the show, Stewart.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
So, Mama and Baby got a new pair of shoes this week?
Yeah, Mama picked out a swing set for the baby after Tuesday night, and after Thursday night, she was looking to add like a water slide or something. But
oh wow!
It was good. Things are going well for it.
I love it. So $21,000 in 3 days. That's pretty sporty. And you've got another solid. If you're going to all the shows, I believe there's 2 super dirt car shows this week. One at Grandview or another 3-day streak. Are we looking at?
Yeah, we're actually trucking right now. We're on our way to 5 Mile Point Speedway in Binghamton. We have a Super Dirt Series, big block series right there tonight. We have tomorrow off, and then we're back, back in your neck of the woods at Grandview on Thursday, and then our regular tracks of Albany, Saratoga, Orange County Friday, Saturday. So we're in the thick of it right now.
So you have those, and that's what I look at when you think of the big block cars. The April, May, they're pretty laid back. June, you kind of get going, and July hits, and it's like, watch out. A lot of midweek shows. I was looking at, you got Eldora coming up, then you go to Sharon. I mean, there's a lot of not just Friday, Saturday shows that you can choose from.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of racing. The series really kicks into full swing. Once school gets out, all the tracks start having their midweek special events, and around 4th of July, the holiday, we got right into it, and it seems like we've been seems like we've been doing something. We've been in the shop. We've been racing like every day for the past month and a half. So it's been good. The Halmar team has given us everything we need to get the job done equipment wise. We've been living up to our end of the deal. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's been a lot of work.
And how cool is it to finally get a win at a Cord?
It was very good. That was a track we were kind of snake bitten at. We had a lot of bad luck there, so to go there with Brett Deo's series, short track super series, and get that win at Accord, that was special.
With you're talking about the wife. Has she been wanting to go race, or has she been racing, or what's
She
going
did.
on?
She ran her first race at Utica Chrome last Sunday with the Empire Super Sprint 360 series, and she did well. She qualified. She started 18th and ran up through the pack, made some good passes. Had some, was running some good lap times. And she said she got a little bit tired towards the end, but that was to be expected. But she had a good time and knocked the rust off. And I think she's getting ready to go where she's going to run again Friday night at Albany, Saratoga. We're going to run the modified. She's going to run the sprint car, so it's going to be a family night at the races Friday. We're looking forward to that.
I love it.
Now, where does this put you in
I was
sprint car
going to
ride?
say, does this lower your schedule for sprint cars now?
I got kind of put on the back burner on the sprint car team when she came back, but it's good. We're doing so much modified stuff, sprint car stuff. It kind of had to take a back seat anyways. We love doing it, but it's the modified stuff is just crazy right now.
And he's going through a tunnel.
Whoa!
It's good. We're gonna run with the All Stars at Lebanon Valley again in the middle of August. Sorry, I just had to go on speakerphone there. We're just past the trooper. We're gonna run with the All Stars in the middle of August at Lebanon Valley, and then she's gonna run the rest of the sprint car stuff, between then and there.
So I'm laughing because I know what you've done, because there's some states you can't be on the phone, and all of a sudden you're just like, hey, I gotta go here a minute.
Yeah, New York's one of them, and I just had Trooper sitting on the other side of the road, but he's still sitting in the infield. He's not coming after us. So we're all good.
That's good.
He doesn't need to take any of your money. So the big news is you're going to be actually running a NASCAR truck at Eldora Speedway. Will you be running your big block in the same weekend there?
Yeah, we run. We're excited to do that. It's a good opportunity that that Halmar's presented to us, and we're really excited to do that. Be a part of that race at Eldora, which is one of the coolest NASCAR races of the summer. And for in the dirt track world. So we're going to run the big block. They have a Super Dirt Series race Tuesday night with next Tuesday with truck practice, and then we're going to run the truck on Wednesday. So looking forward to it. Kind of just cautiously optimistic on our chances, but Billy Hess is putting the truck together down there in North Carolina, and we're going to get a chance to go practice it in a rookie test tomorrow in Tennessee. So it's going to be cool. We're really looking forward to it. Obviously a dream come true to compete on that level. So we're excited.
I want you to talk about that because you brought up the rookie test. If you will, tell our listeners what you've personally had to go through to get certified by NASCAR to be able to run this.
It's pretty unbelievable, and David obviously knows what you have to go through, but the physical examination and just the amount of paperwork to go through is awesome. We had to get approved by Brett Bodine on to be able to even apply for a license, and then do a physical test, as well as they have an impact test now that you test your kind of just like your senses and your brain, and
for
making
concussions.
sure that I didn't take too many hits along the way here, and everything still works, and my memory still works. So we did that this morning, and it's pretty cool the amount of background that you have to go through, and just to show just shows how much all these drivers are top-notch athletes, and the testing that you go through is pretty neat.
I laugh, and I know you appreciate it now when people say, hey, I'm going to go run Eldora. I'm like, listen, this isn't just something you throw together. There's a lot that goes on in process. You talk about Billy Hess helping you. He's helped a lot of guys. What are you going to, is it going to Witt, or what track are you going to go to shake that thing down?
I believe it's I think it's Smoky Mountain Speedway in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay,
I think I'm right on that. I'm not sure. But yeah, we got approved for a rookie, like a rookie orientation test. So we're going to go down there and shake it down tomorrow, and the truck's coming out of Billy's shop today, so it's cool. Willie Ochmoody, the team manager at Halmar, with some help from Gary Ballou and some of their old friends. And, they were able to kind of put this deal together. And
Gary Blue's helping you on this?
Yeah, it's not the Batmobile, but it's it's going to be the next best thing. So they had some old friends, that were able to put this deal together, and it's been a couple months in the works of getting people involved and getting the right equipment, and it's been a lot. A lot of people put in a lot of hours on this, and I'm really, really appreciative of that. Hopefully, we can go give it a good showing.
Well, I'm expecting high expectations out of you because the big block cars are how they drive, and you're a very talented racer because we've seen that in the sprint cars, everything else. So I'm putting a little pressure on you for Eldora.
Well, hopefully not too much, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be something I've always wanted to do, and it's exciting. Just to be competing at that level is going to be something unbelievable. And that's something I never thought I'd be able to do. In my career, and we'll see where it goes. Maybe we'll do a couple more down the road if everything works out all right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I can say, you saying that you never thought that being possible, I say the same thing about it being on dirt. I never saw that being possible. But they'll do just about anything.
The funny thing is, Stewart, and you'll see this when a lot of the truck teams are there. I was talking to a couple people that were on a team, and they're like, oh, we go to Eldora, and we gotta put our toolboxes on a forklift and pressure wash them. We gotta do. I'm like, oh, I know. I mean, it just gets dirty, but
right.
You kind of live with it. You kind of know it. These guys, they're
not used to it.
They're not used to it. So it'll be a little funny. There's going to be some things going on that you'll go, what the heck is going on here? But that's where it'll be definitely neat. I was there for the first one. I actually got the spot for Schrader for the first truck race, and we had a blast.
Oh, very cool.
I think it's going to be a really good turnout, and hopefully the thing, like you said, you get to do more.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see how it goes. If everybody at Halmar has a good time with it, if they enjoy what they're doing, I think, there might be an opportunity to do something down the road. But, we're just really going to concentrate on this and try to put our best foot forward and, and see what happens. It's definitely something new for everybody on the Halmar team. So, we're excited for it.
Well, I think you should push for Dover, Delaware for your next race.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do. I'm just pushing to do something if it's anywhere. So
okay. Well, if anybody from Halmar's listening, Dover, Delaware. That's the
all
next
right.
one.
Sounds good.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, you talked about, Jessica, racing this weekend. You're racing. It's going to be a family affair. You guys made the front page of Area Auto this weekend with you guys in Victory Lane with your son. How cool is that?
That was awesome. Jess and Parker, we're racing so much, and, they're not able to be at all the races, but it's very cool. They were at Fonda for a win that we had there earlier in the year, and then for her and Parker, they were actually up at the tower watching. Brett Hearn got Jess a tower ticket for helping Saratoga for his big show, which we were super pumped to get. Have them come down. It was very, very special. It's a lot of things have changed in the last couple of years for us, and it was neat. It's just it's a great feeling, to have him there and have Jess there, and for things to be going well. It's really, really special.
Well, great. Well, I hope you have bragging rights, especially going into Eldora, and good luck to you up there. I think hopefully we'll see you at Sharon here in a couple weeks right after Eldora.
Sounds good, guys. Sounds good.
Thanks,
All right.
Stewart. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Boy, it'd be cool to see him at Dover. I'm telling you, I'd really like that. I think he'd do good. I mean, I've watched him run. He's very talented, and it'll be interesting. Billy Hess and all those guys. Gary Blue, though, I mean, they're going to keep him away from when they go through tech. He always had problems when they went through there.
You just threw him under the bus.
No, Gary was a big short track racer, raced with Junior Hanley, a lot of guys, but he would always push the limits.
When I hear those names, I think old school racing, and that's what I think's really cool to have those guys behind Stewie and going to Eldora.
Hey, one of the things we didn't talk about, Mega 100 was this past weekend. Jacob Hawkins picked up the overall championship for it. It was Jacob Hawkins, Kyle Strickler, and DJ Klein picked up a win too. So that was really cool up there.
So upcoming races, Lucas, the Napa Know-How 50 is at Tri-City. 10th Annual Diamond Nationals at Lucas Oil. Can we please go there sometime?
How about when you speak of Lucas Oil, what's going on? We didn't talk about this, but Dale McDowell in his brand new Sweet Bloomquist car, and then they swept the top three. That's pretty impressive.
That is
when you look at the numbers, I think my buddy Gene was throwing all this information at me, and I think they've won like the last 10 Lucas Oil, 10 out of 12 or some kind of number.
His cars.
So, yeah, the Sweet Bloomquist cars. So my pick, and I think he's there, is Jared Landers. Will get to Victory Lane here soon. So
I wouldn't doubt that.
But I wanted to throw that out there. They've been working hard. It's interesting,
World of Outlaws tomorrow night at Ogilvie.
Ogilvie, yeah.
I always
Hibbing.
want to call it Ogleville.
They're up in that swing still through the Midwest.
USMTS is at Dodge County Speedway, Fayette County Speedway, I-35, Iowa State Fair, and Southern Iowa. What I love about USMTS is they always have like groups of 4 or 5 in a row.
You know
it's
what's
just
cool
one night
too,
after another.
And you hit on it. And I know right now, like North Dakota Tour is going on. Ricky Thornton went up there, but the modifieds, they have a lot of fair races, and I really wish they had down the East Coast. I'm really jealous of the central part of the states, Iowa and Missouri, and all through there, the Dakotas. They have so many fair races that it's really, really cool.
And Super Dirt Car tonight at 5 Mile Point, and don't forget Grandview later in the week. And support your local racetracks, as you always say. Make sure you go on social media.
Yes, go check it out. I mean, there's so many races, obviously. The Super Dirt Car's traveling around, but there's races that are going on and coming up. The Hell Tour, you got to catch the end of it. I mean,
there's 2 weeks left?
There's at least 2 weeks. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys, going through it. So tonight they're at Plymouth, tomorrow Shady Hill. It'll be really cool.
Yeah. Tweet us your pictures if you're going. We want to see them. Slingin' Dirt. Follow us on Twitter. Be sure to do that because we enjoy seeing your pictures. But thank you so much for joining us today. We're the Stremmies. This is Slingin' Dirt presented by Hercules Tires, and you can find it in the Media Center later today at MRN.com, on MRN's YouTube channel, and also on iTunes and Race Day Nation.
This has been Slingin' Dirt with Ashley and David Stremme. Listen every Tuesday at 11 Eastern on MRN.com for more news, interviews, and opinion from dirt tracks all over America. Slingin' Dirt is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.